Welcome to our tutorial to adding unplanned events to your Brainhand website. So you can access the unplanned page in one of two ways. You can either access it via the diary, or you can go to the menu bar and then click Unplanned. So you can use your unplanned page for events that might happen at any time rather than events that you have scheduled. For example, this might be when you find yourself home alone, it could be when you're feeling anxious, or it could be when you're socialising. So let's create our first unplanned event. So we're actually going to use an example which is available in your workbook, and this is the example of being home alone. So to create the unplanned event, all you have to do is click Create an Event, and then you can type in the name of the unplanned event. Once you've typed in the name of the first unplanned event, you can just click Create. Unlike diary events, you can also break down the unplanned event into activities, or you can just add a one-off problem to the event. So let's add an activity to our unplanned event. To add an activity, you just have to click Add Activities, and from here you can either search for pre-existing activities which you already have in either your unplanned events page or in your diary, or you can actually add a new activity. So we're going to add a new activity to our unplanned event, and the activity that we're going to add to Home Alone is free time. And then we can then type in the problem that is associated with this activity. A problem that was identified in the workbook for the activity of free time was what to do. A solution that was identified in the workbook for the problem of what to do was walk the dog. So once you've typed in the name of the solution, you can just click Create and then Done. So as you can see, so far we've created an unplanned event, and we've also added an activity to this unplanned event. But with unplanned events, you can actually just add one-off problems straight onto them, and you can do that by clicking on Add One-off Problems, and then you can type in the problem. So we're actually going to use an example from the workbook, and that was feeling anxious. So a suggested solution to this problem was do my breathing exercises. So then once you've typed in the problem and the solution, you can then click Create and then Done. So far we've created an unplanned event, we've added an activity to this event, and we've also added a one-off problem. So what we can do now is then just click Done, and now we've created this unplanned event. So once you've actually created your unplanned event, you can actually change the colour of the event, and you can do this by going on More Options, going to the paint pad, and then selecting the colour that you would like it to be. Once you've selected that colour, you can just click Done, and then that will save the unplanned event in that colour. So this has been our tutorial to creating unplanned events. Today we've discussed how to create an unplanned event and then add activities and then one-off problems to this unplanned event. And we've also talked about how to change the colour of the unplanned event. So thank you for listening.